Good afternoon and welcome to this live interactive session for the NPTEL course Transition Metal Organometallics in Catalysis and Biology. So in this course, we have already covered 9 weeks, that means 9 problem solving session have been covered. So myself Shubhajit Kundu hosting this session as the TA for this course, and the main objective is to interact live with the students and get their doubts and explain their doubts from week by week content. So, and also explain some sample problems that are related to that assignments which is given in the portal, and to solve that assignments by providing the solving approach to avoid very silly mistakes during the examination or during that any kind of examination. So for that I'll wait for 2 minutes if any participant joined, otherwise continue this session by explaining some sample problems along with their description in detail. So summarizing the course content without problem will be boring, as I am always saying. So, and the content of this course cannot be fully understood without solving that questions. So these questions are mainly from the previous year's question. So, and this will different little bit from that assignments which is uploaded in the portal, which will be accounted for grading. So this problem solving approach with these sample questions will be helpful for solving that portal assignment problem, and it will be helpful to final examination also. So participants who are watching the videos from the recording sheet, recording list, please upload your doubts in the live classes. It is a live interactive session with this, and if anything you are facing problem, by joining or something, you can email me. In the recording sheet list, the drive link is also there. So every day 10 to 12 question I am uploading there. So if you want to get that answer, you have to watch that particular week. So on the last week, that is week 9, the question which has been uploaded was correct, but the answer for these videos, that is in session videos, that is the problem solving session videos, was uploaded wrong. So I have rectified it. The right video is now uploaded. Yesterday I uploaded it. Because of some technical mistake, I upload that week 5 content instead of 9 while it was recorded, but that numbering got different. So the correct solution videos for that week 9 content is now updated. You can check out to that. If you have any doubt from that content which I am uploading in the drive or in the YouTube regarding this interactive session, you can ask me in this live set, or you can email me in the following email address. It is my request not to ask anything uploaded in the portal, in the drive, that is through the recording sheet. That is solely my content and I am responsible for it. So please ask me in that, ask to me. I will try to provide the solution of your doubt. If you have anything regarding that portal assignment problem, that you can also ask me, but my content you should not ask in the portal discussion forum. They may not access it. And if you have any problem regarding the portal assignment or the course content, that you can ask me in the live, or you can post that also in the discussion forum also. So discussion forum is only allotted to for the portal assignment, and that lectures taught by the instructor. So that's all from the introduction and the detailing of that assignment questions and problems, and that this session is mainly to interact live, but I find many people are watching from the recording sheet, that is the recorded video. So it may be not possible to join live, but if you have any doubt, you can email me. Email address is given in the first page of every week question. So I will happy to give you the corresponding solution as quickly as possible. So I am just waiting for any people to join. If not, then I will continue this session as recorded, and then continue to do the recording as live, and continue to do the recording, and will be uploaded.
You can learn how to create a screen recording,
and I will upload it in the YouTube. Okay, so as nobody joined till now, let me put a message, and then I will continue this session from my side. So message will be the same like the previous week. If you have any doubt, please unmute and ask please unmute and ask. I will try to provide the details detail answer ans to that question. So I am now pinning this message, so everybody will be try to. So it is my request, if everyone watching this session from the recording sheet, please try to join in the live session, that is a live mode, from 5 to 7 p.m. and get your doubt cleared for the particular week live. Thank you. So now I'll start discussing the today's content, or this week content, that is the week 10 content. So as per we discussed in the last week, we have started an application of organometallic compound in very broad application as well as very useful application. There is a field of polymerization reaction. So polymerization reaction is happening in everywhere, mainly that polymerization of ethylene, it is polyethylene. So without that, now our daily to daily life, it cannot be possible. Everywhere, every corner you see that is made of some different kind of polyethylene. So that polyethylene is an example or exciting or groundbreaking application of organometallic compound in this category. So with that, we are now moving to that famous Ziegler and Natta catalyst. The last week we have seen that when the above was doing the polymerization reaction of 1 propene, so not propene, on ethine, that is ethylene, instead of having that product, polymerized product, he get a dimer, and the dimer is 1 butene. So after that he started investigation, the reaction, and he found that there is a nickel impurity in the reactor which causing this problem. Later on he was searched to find that another metal or substance which can catalyze this kind of reaction. So then the Ziegler come with that catalyst, and by the time the Natta came in his research laboratory and did some work and get that polymerization idea and started separately, and with one higher monologue of olefin family, that is 1 propene, that is the polymerization of 1 propene system. Because of that methyl group at C1 position of methylene, now the stereochemistry of this polymer is different. It is not same for the different processes. So she developed the catalyst, and later on the combine we called, the result was combined result was called the Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So before going to that mechanism and different application and modification of catalyst, we will now move to that question answer thing, and with that question answer we will try to explain the different characterization or different characterization of polymers when the polypropylene, or that is the 1-propyne, when undergo the polymerization reaction is formed. Because of the orientation of this methyl group which is flanked on the carbon, the different kind of polymerization can be formed, and that has been classified in different categories. With that, we will start our question answer session of today's series. Okay. So now just like the introduction, the you can email me at this email address for any doubt regarding that recorded sheet, that is the drive uploaded question, and that YouTube video which is that are solely my content. Okay, without wasting time, let's go to that first question of today's series. Already said that the polymerization has been classified in different category when the polypropylene is formed from 1-propene. Depending upon the orientation, we have classified or polypropylene. Let's go to the presentation mode and explain, then we will come back to that question. The next 3 questions will be that type. So the polypropylene the classification polypropylene classification of polypropylene. So when we know that these undergo the reaction something like this is formed. This will be had in polypropylene. So this orientation of this methyl group, the orientation and direction will be dictate the name, or better to say the tacticity of the polypropylene. So first is, if the methyl group are oriented all in the same direction, that is all in the same direction, we call it isotactic. So when that means this methyl group are in opposite direction, that is one is the above direction and another one is the below. And this is fixed every time. So we called this is isotactic. So this will be syndiotactic. So classification number 3, when this methyl group is oriented not one after another, so there is a series of some of the methyl group we oriented and in the above, and then another sum of the methyl group is oriented to the opposite side. We called it a stereo block. Okay. And when this thing, the orientation is not fixed, that is one is the above, one is the below, then one is the above, below, is not fixed, then we call this atactic. So these are different classification when the propene or one propene undergo the polymerization reaction. So let's start. So for the isotactic, all methyl group orient in the same direction. For the syndiotactic, that opposite, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 3 in the same direction, whereas 2 and 4 in the opposite direction. That is the one after another change the direction. And that the stereo block is the first some set is in the same direction, whereas the another set is opposite direction. That means the shapes is changes. After that atactic is when there is no regularity, that is highly irregular, we called it atactic polymer. Now go back to that question and check the answer. So we have, I think, 3 questions just to identify the tacticity or the type of that polymer formed. With this information, I think it can be solved. The first question is identify the tacticity of the polypropylene. So this naming, that is isotactic, syntactic, stereo block and this atactic, is only applicable for a kind of polymer, that is the one single kind of polymer, that is the polypropylene. That means when propylene undergo the polymerization because of this flanking methyl group orientation, different kind of polymerization can be formed. Now here we can see that all the methyl group on same orientation, and this can be another type. This can be like this when all are downstream, that is also true. So here this point is, this will be isotactic, okay, because when all are the same orientation we called it isotactic. So isotactic will be the right answer for this question. Question second is identify the tacticity of the polypropylene. Now this orientation and this orientation and this orientation and this orientation as one by one after opposite direction. So this kind of polymer when formed, we call them as syntactic. Syntactic. Next question is like the same order. So you can see that tacticity of the polypropylene. So here that we have 1, 2, 3 in same direction, whereas 4, 5, 6 and 7 are in opposite direction. So some are same, some opposite. So here for this region, this kind of polymer is called the stereo block, because some amount of that polymer retain the stereochemistry and another is changing. So particular has portion has a symmetry, regular symmetry, where other portion have completely opposite symmetry. That's why it's called stereo block polymer. So I think the classification of the polymer through the heteroatom sorry through the orientation of the methyl group for polypropylene is clear. The question number 4 is the heterogeneous nature of the Ziegler-Natta catalyst system is convenient from the perspective of controlling the chain length, e.g. product separation, monitoring the course of reaction and chain branching. So let's apply our knowledge which is discussed in the last session. So last session we discussed that Ziegler-Natta catalyst produce polyethylene at low pressure at low temperature compared to other process. So and this process is heterogeneous, produces high density polyethylene. Now the high density polyethylene, you know that it contained linear polymer, that is the branching is very less. So the question says that catalyst system convenient from the perspective of. So there is no role of chain branching. So this is option we can alternately cut. So chain length we can also cut because by the other catalyst we can also control it. Next is the monitoring the reaction, course of reaction. Now the course of reaction have several pathways and the main role is the catalyst. Catalyst bind, activate and then perform the reactions. So for heterogeneous catalyst we can easily say that the separation is become easy because sometimes the catalyst is doped or attached with a solid surface and the reaction occurred in the surface. After the reaction you just eluded the product and the catalyst will remain as it is. That designate the formation of product is separation very easy. So when the heterogeneous, for most of the heterogeneous catalyst the separation of the product is very easy. So what is that convenient process or heterogeneous catalyst, not from this catalyst or any most of the catalyst available or known in the literature. So separation is sometimes become very easy. That's why now researchers is moving to the heterogeneous field compared to the homogeneous, because in homogeneous everything is in a solution and their purification remain through column chromatography or something like this method takes lot of efforts, and the solvent for eluent is very high. So that's why the product formation will be the most convenient and it will be the right answer for this system. The next question is, it is also a recall type question, or you have to remember it, otherwise it's difficult to answer. That crystalline polypropylene is or are so when the polymer is crystallized, it should know that that crystallize in proper orientation. The compound with proper orientation is easy to crystallize. So here we know that isotactic and syntactic polymers orientation is highly ordered. So these two system or these two class of polymer crystallizes in here are very crystalline because of their proper and regular orientation. So question number A and question number C will be right answer for this question. Next is the enhanced stereoselectivity in Ziegler-Natta polymerization of polypropylene is due to option A, the increased solubility of the catalyst, coordinatively saturated catalyst, differentiation of the two pochiral phases of propene, and electronically saturated catalyst. So, Ziegler-Natta polymerization of polypropylene is the stereoselective and that formed in isotactic manner, and that is arising because of the two differentiation two prochiral phases of the polypropylene. So C will be the right answer. So this question is another very important question from today's discussion series. Let's explain this question and with the diagram that how these things are happening. You know that polypropylene is or Ziegler at a catalyst is adsorbed in the surface of magnesium chloride and is that the reaction in the homogeneous fashion. So that structure is Mg Mg. Now these have a vacant site and this is also with Cl Mg like this. So that olefin can bind to this surface in two different, and one is this or another is this. Because of it, the orientation, the mechanistic side so this compound is oriented towards the upward and this will give the proper orientation or major product to this system, whether the other one, that is this one, is not properly oriented or towards the system, which will give the lower yield or not a yield at all. So that's why because of the presence of two phases, this one and this one, reaction happen in that way. So reaction happen in that way. So this is that phase is called the prochiral, as all the bonds information are not chiral in nature. So the right answer for this question will be, because of the two different phases orientation, the methyl group which pointed outward will be the preferential phases and reaction occur in that phases only to give that isotactic polymerase chain. So that because of the two prochiral phases of the propane, the reaction will be stereo selective. Now the next question is, the limitation of the Natta single site catalyst. We have seen that the activity of the catalyst depends on the active site presence in it. So, the Natta's catalyst is decreased solubility of the catalyst, increased solubility, low activity, and do not olefin the alpha polymerization. Alpha olefin do not polymerize. So, here he is seen that each or R is given. That means there is a possibility of more than one option in this question. Correct option in this question. So the correct answer for this question will be the limitation is the low activity as well as the alpha olefin does not polymerize from this method. The next question is, this question we have already discussed, that the typical molar masses of high density polyethylene obtained using the Ziegler-Natta catalyst is. So Ziegler-Natta catalyst gives the high density polyethylene, and high density polyethylene are always linear polymer, not the branch one. When the soft polymers or soft density or low density polyethylene are generally the branch polymer, branch chain polymer. So in single atom it can produce the 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 5 polyethylene, we having the molar mass using this Ziegler-Natta catalyst, that is really very high. So 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 5 to molar mass can be found using the Ziegler and Natta catalyst. Next question is, the amorphous polypropylene is or are. We have also seen that when the polypropylene is in crystalline, so when the crystal means the system is highly ordered system. So for the ordered system, getting the crystal is little bit more easy, whereas if the substituent are not in order, it will destabilizes the system and the formation of the crystal will be difficult. So for this question, for the crystalline it will be isotactic and syndiotactic, and when the compound become amorphous, that is the powder type polymeric compound, then the compound is adactic, that means that doesn't contain any regularity in it. We have already seen that with the drawing from the starting of these questions. So syntactic will be the right answer for this question. The orientation is not fixed, so it one is up, two is up, third is down, let's say fourth is up, second is down, another 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 is down, like that. So there is no particular orientation for this type of parting, this type of polypropylene, and this is called, and this is generally become the amorphous in nature. The next question is, the key step of polymerization of polypropylene using TiCl4 catalyst require. So that first option is the free coordination site cis to the titanium carbon bond. Second is the free coordination site trans to the titanium carbon bond, immobilization of the catalyst, and the activation of the catalyst with Al triethyl aluminium. So we know that the orientation of this complex during polymerization is very important. So that the cis orientation of the titanium towards the carbon bond is most important for this catalyst. So option A will be one of the right answer for this question. So another right answer is that activation of the titanium Cl4, because without AlCl3 the reaction doesn't proceed. The role of AlCl3 is to activate the titanium tetrachloride for the polymerization reaction. So correct answer will be titanium CH bond and their activation of the. We will discuss this mechanism after finishing all the questions. So question number 10 is also an important question, and this mechanism will be discussed after the finish of that question. The next question is the key step in that polymerization by Cp2ZrCl2 in MAU catalyst is. So you know that this catalyst done the reaction in homogeneous condition, whereas that our popular Ziegler-Natta catalyst done the reaction in heterogeneous condition, and the frequency or the amount of polypropylene formed is from this per mole of zirconium is very high for this zirconium reagent. So about 500 kg 500 kg of polypropylene is formed per mole of zirconium in per mole of zirconium. This is very a big number to get the polypropylene from this zirconium catalyst. So right answer for this will be olefin coordination to the metal and that magnetic insertion of zinc zirconium carbon bond will be the key step for this reaction. The next is identify the incorrect statement in case of radical polymerization of polypropylene. So for this polymerization, that low molar mass oil is obtained, highly branched polypropylene is obtained, and sterically non-uniform polypropylene is obtained. So all these options is right for the radical polymerization. But in question, we obtain the incorrect statement. So incorrect statement is the high density crystalline polymer is obtained. That does not form the radical polymerization reaction. So option D will be the right answer for this question. And the next question is for the ethylene polymerization, the single site catalyst that exhibit the superior performance to even of Ziegler-Natta when used with MAO. So you all know that the catalyst is developed in much more facile way to enhance the product yield and with the time. So with that, the concept of co-catalyst come into play where is such kind of compound is used with the actual catalyst to enhance the yield or the time of the reaction. So for that, here that for this single site catalyst that exhibit the even the Ziegler-Natta with MAO is, so the answer is Cp2Zr Me2 with MAO. So MAO is MAO, MAO, which is methyl alumo oxen. Methyl alumo oxen. Okay. So here the active catalyst will be which used with MAU is the CP2ZrMe2. Now up to 500 kg of polyethylene polyethylene per mole of zirconium per hour can be produced with this coupled catalyst, which is extremely better than Ziegler-Natta catalyst. But in this system, the polypropylene which is produced are atactic in nature. The polypropylene which produced in this system are in atactic nature. Okay, so I think this is the last question. So in this week we have discussed 13 questions and mainly the discovery of Ziegler-Natta catalyst, and we have seen that how the catalyst is important for polymerization reaction. And by the time goes on and the research goes on, and we increase or the effectiveness of the catalyst. With that, zirconium complexes came, and with the help of another co-catalyst which enhance the rate of the catalyst in much faster and in different environment, that is that homogeneous matter reaction performed. So with this I completed most of the important questions and topic in this week content, and one of the question, that is the question number 13, question number 11, question number 10, that is the mega extreme mechanism path of that Ziegler-Natta catalyst is given, which is another most important topic in this week. So let's discuss the mechanism of Ziegler-Natta catalyst in this series. So this mechanism is Altman mechanism. In 1964. So in mechanism says that if free coordination site, as we discussed in the question, free coordination site to a titanium carbon bond is crucial, is important for this reaction, and the linkage occur in head to tail linking chain growth. So let's see that mechanism. So we have these titanium and this is attached to one of the CH2 CH CH3 Cl 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 D, and one site is vacant. Now ethylene can coordinate to this site, and this becomes a intermediate which is 4-membered cyclobutane type ring, or you can say metallocyclobutane. So this will be titanium CH2 CH2 like this, and CH2 CH3, and the other one remains same. So this is the intermediate, the cyclobutane or metallocyclobutane intermediate. Now these undergo their insertion and create another vacant site. You undergo the insertion with this CH2 and create another vacant site, which is titanium, or you call the migration happens. So this will be another vacant site. This will be chain will be CH2 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 C sorry titanium CH2 CH2 and CH2 CH2 CH CH2. So this blue portion actually coming from this portion, and the red is inserted with this titanium carbon bond, and the other thing remain same. So now create another vacant site for the incoming another nucleophile. Now go to that. So this vacant site its creation is important for the titanium to accommodate the ethylene molecule. Then the migration occur or the insertion occur, that is the ethylene insertion to the metal or titanium carbon bond to propagate the chain of polymeric chain of the Now let's say if you have a methyl group, that is the polypropylene. Now this will be another CH3 group will be here. So that will encounter here, and you will end up with a CH2 CH3 here, but the orientation of these will be same, and this is called head to tail linking of head to tail linking of polymers, and this will give a isotactic type polymer where the methyl group orientation will be same. So I think the mechanism for Ziegler-Natta catalyst is now clear. So Ziegler-Natta catalyst is triethyl is formed to activate the catalyst, and the migratory insertion olefin coordination to the metal, and that migratory insertion to the zirconium carbon bond. This is the main two features in the mechanistic cycle. So I think I have covered most of that question. Now let's revise one more time. So this the identify the tacticity when all the methyl group are same direction, we call them isotactic in nature. When one and opposite is opposite direction one after another, then we call this syndiotactic, and when some sets of direction is considered, then we call them as stereo block polymer, and this polymeric classification is only applicable for the polymer of polypropylene. The next is the heterogeneous nature. So we have said that Mao process, the zirconium catalyst works in homogeneous manner, whereas the Ziegler-Natta catalyst is worked as heterogeneous manner. The features of any heterogeneous catalyst is the separation of the compound, because your compound or catalytic substrate or product may be homogeneity or maybe something, and this reactant or catalyst is in different phase, so their separation will be very easy. That's applicable to Ziegler-Natta catalyst also. So that's our heterogeneous catalyst, so the catalyst separation and catalyst recyclability is more in case of heterogeneous catalyst. This will be the right answer. So when I have said that when the orientation is proper, when the orientation is proper, we call them crystalline, and the crystalline is isotactic and syndotactic, that crystallizes. When it is not crystallizing and amorphous in nature, and orientation is also not in regular orientation. Orientation of this methyl group will be irregular, and that will be atactic, and that is the polymer will be amorphous in nature. The enhanced stereoselectivity Jigdannata is due to, we have seen with the example that when olefin approaches to the catalyst, that is highly selective for the polypropylene, or that is the propylene polymerization reaction. Because of the methyl group during the approach, the selectivity, that is the facial selectivity of the methyl group towards the catalytic center, have two different methyl group, and one which is out of that thing will be the more favorable, and inside one will be less favorable. So that is gives the major product of the system. And the next is, this option C will be the right answer. Next is that limitation of the NATA single site catalyst. When the NATA develop the catalyst, that catalyst is only the single site is there, so that gives the very low activity, and that if the olefin is alpha substituted, that is doesn't polymerize. That is the limitation of NATA catalyst. So here the low activity and alpha element not polymerized will be the option C and D right answer for this question. And question number 8 is that high density polymer, high density polyethylene. So Ziegler-Natta catalyst produce high density polyethylene, and high density polyethylene is generally the linear polyethylene molecule without not the branching, and that high polydispersity index, that is the high molar mass polymer can be formed from this Ziegler-Natta catalyst, and that molar mass range is around 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 5 Dalton. So option C. Usually amorphous polymer, I already said, when their polymers in order in, or somehow it is ordered in opposite direction, that is that isotactic and syndotactic, they form the crystalline polymer. When they are not in order and randomly or irregularly ordered, they are from the atactic polymer. So atactic polymer are generally amorphous usually, and it is not the universal truth, but generally it happens that which the polymer which are atactic in nature, that are mainly that amorphous. The key step in the polymerization of ethylene, the TiCl4, we have seen that a triethylamine will activate the TiCl4. Next, after binding one ethylene molecule or polypropylene molecule, it create a vacant site. Then this vacant site accommodate another ethylene or polypropylene molecule, and after this that elimination occurs, and that because of this migratory insertion within that metal carbon bond, the chain propagates by creating the another vacant site, or the next monomeric unit can incoming to the metal center. So here the free coordination site will be always cis to the titanium carbon, and activation of the catalyst with the triethyl aluminium will be the right answer for this question. And the next is the key step again also the olefin coordination. First the olefin have to coordinate, then the migratory insertion will be the next step for the reaction. So option A and B will be the correct answer. Next is radical polymerization reaction. All options are correct except the option D, because we have seen this reaction in last case when that polymerization occurred. This gives the not the high polymeric mass, because the polymeric mass is very low, and low molecular mass polymers are generally oily, so oils, and highly branched polymer, and that's are also soft polymer are highly branched, and sterically non-uniform polyethylene and non-uniform also is obtained for this method, because that regular nata gives that high or all are different, and high density crystalline polymer is as that uniformity is not there, so the density there is no question. So C and D are contradictory, so option D will be the incorrect statement. So all option A, B, C are correct for this radical polymerization reaction. Only the density is high density, no, the low density polymer, we already said that lower molar mass low density polymer is obtained, so option D will be the incorrect statement, and it will be the right answer. For the question number 13, that ethylene polymerization reaction. So after that catalyst evolution, that we get the zirconium catalyst, and Cp2Zr Me2 is a zirconium catalyst which undergo the reaction with MAO. MAO is the methyl aluminium oxome, and these undergo as a co-catalyst increase the activity of the catalyst, and we have seen that 500 kg of polypropylene can be formed from 1 mole of this zirconium zirconium catalyst, and within 1 hour. So that is a very much extension or large quantity of polypropylene can be made using this catalyst. So option A will be the right answer for this question. So with this I discussed all the most important topic of this week content. So with this I discussed the most important topic from this week content. So and as nobody joined, so I continue this session from my side. So I request everyone, whoever is joining or watching that recorded sheet video, please try to join in this live session to get your doubt cleared. I'll be happy to answer the questions, or it will be helpful for me also. And if you have any question outside this live, you can post regarding your portal problem, and that portal question answer portal questions, and the lectures number uh, which is taught by the instructor. You can post this in the discussion forum. We'll try to answer those questions as quickly as possible. And be specific to the question, so that we have where our answer also get very much specific. Uh, so I'll wait for another 2 minutes to see any participant join, because it's happened sometime that at the last moment someone join and asks their doubt. I think this course we have already completed the 80% course, and only two more week is remaining, that is the week 12, week 11 and week 12. After that there will be an exam. So this all the portal question, there is a 10 question in each week, and I have also completed the 10 question, and some week more than 10 question. So total 120 question from the portal you will get, and 120 question from this live recording, live session you will get. Also you get that question from the drive which I am sharing in that recording sheet list. So that total 120 plus 120, that will be 240 question in total. And for my part, it is some question is more, that's it, and 250 question. So if you solve this 250 question, I think there will be the great idea about this course, and this will be helpful in the final examination, because all the question will be based on this topic, and there will be no deviation which from this syllabus which has been taught. Let me wait for another 5 minutes if anybody joins, if with their doubt. Otherwise I will terminate the session for 2 days. So I will see you in the next Saturday, that will be in April, first week of April, to discuss that the second last, that is week 11 content of this series. Another, after this 12 week is over, I will try to take one more, that will be 5 of April, and one more classes of 1 hour or maybe 2 hour, to just to summarize the overall content, these overall 60 lectures, and pointing out the most important reactions, most important topics, so which may be beneficial for this final exam, to as a quick review of the overall chapter, quick recap, you can say quick recap of the overall chapter. Again, I am saying that whoever is watching that YouTube videos from the YouTube to get the answers or get that explanation of this question, please join this session on live to answer directly with me in the live to discuss and to interact. So I'll be great to explain your doubt, or it will feel better to solve the question together. That will be helpful for me as well to learn the content or to explain the content in more detail. Mm, I'll wait another 5 minutes to see if anybody joins. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next next Saturday, that is 5th of April. If you don't have any doubt, you can also send me email regarding that feedback of this session, so that I can improve this session quality regarding that requirement from as a learner of this course, which will be helpful for when I next time take this course. Okay, so as I've seen, till now nobody joined. I don't think anyone will join. So whoever will watch this session, please try to join in live every Saturday during this course from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your doubts cleared, or also you can suggest me your any suggestion will be welcome for improving this session quality. I will be happy to hear your suggestions and I will try to improve my session according to your suggestions. So till then, see you in the next session. Be prepare well for the final exam, and exam is approaching, only 2 weeks left for this weekly assignment. So uh, I think that if you solve these 240 or 250 questions, that will be very helpful for solving the different types of question in that final examination. So um, that's all for today. See you in the next day, that is the next Saturday from 5 p.m. Thank you for watching this session.